Hello, everyone. Been a while since I recorded a video. Yeah, I hope you all have been doing well. And I hesitate to say that because I know the energies and the things that I've been experiencing. So doing well is not quite the exact words, I guess, to describe what we're feeling. So I hope you're all surviving well. I would come on and do a reading for the December 12th, 2020 energy portals. I'll be opening. For me, I'm getting that it will be December 12th through January 11th, with the height of it coming in December 21st, 2020 through December 25th, 2020. So anyway, you remember last year around this time, everybody was hyped. Everyone was hyped for the year 2020. We thought big things were going to be coming, things are going to be shifting, and we weren't wrong. I sort of had an inkling it wasn't going to be the bliss that everyone was hoping for. You know, but who am I to say otherwise? If you break down this 12-12-2020, you get 3, 3, and then 4, which equals to 10, which equals to 1. So we're in a reset. This is a reset year. And in order to reset and rebuild and restart, we have to take a look and become clear on where we're at honestly. Take a look at the bigger picture. What came through was the year of clarity, the year of self-awareness, the year of realization, and the year of individuation. And some of you might be saying, what the heck is individuation? Well, according to, I forgot to write down, goodtherapy.org. They have a lot of good Carl Jung stuff on there. Individuation refers to the process through which a person achieves a sense of individuality, separate from the identities of others, and begins to consciously exist as a human in this world. So, I'm going to give you my experience from my perspective. In 2018, I began this work professionally versus just something I was passionate about. I dove into spirituality and becoming a spiritual teacher, as well as spiritual student head first. Left my job, started my own business in 2019. Was it? Yeah. Must have been. And that was it. This is who I was. This is who I was at that time. And I was going hard at it like a Taurus does. Digs their heels in and goes hard. Completes the task. Completes tasks at any cost, right? Somewhere around May, I started having these feelings of living a life that I wasn't necessarily, it wasn't my life. I was living a life that wasn't mine. And I was trying to be someone that I wasn't. That being said, I do accept my gifts. I understand that they are not of this world. I understand that I am to use my gifts within this world, within this dimension, within this experience to help and guide others. But it doesn't make me who I am. So I actually took a step back. I think it was August 1st. Right around when things started opening back up and things started becoming normal. But I don't know. I was just called to step back and take a break, kind of recover, regain balance. So I did. And I decided to consciously exist in this world as a human. I've come to realize that for me, being this spiritual and ethereal person was a way for me to escape who I was in this world. It separated me from the rest of humanity. So I decided to dive headfirst, as Taurus does, into being human and participating in the physical life, focusing on doing everyday chores, being present with my kids. And let me tell you, being human and being a human mother is not easy. I would rather do a psychic reading for the most important person in the world. I think that would be easier than being a physical human mother, especially during this time when things are closed down. There's no school. So it's been 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it has been tough. But I've learned so much about myself. So I started really paying attention to the politics. And I couldn't understand why, because I don't really find it that interesting aside from the psychology of it all. But and this is not going to be political. This is just my perception of the sides of the political spectrum. The things that came into my reality, that found its way to me, portrayed the left as out of control, emotional, not necessarily out of control, but maybe a little bit. Emotional, yes. Seeking validation in the cause that they're fighting for. And needing to be right about it. The right side, the right, I perceive to be very stoic, emotionless, very practical, very Saturn, very father figure, the archetypal father figure. And the left is the archetypal wild child. Okay, so last night I was talking to my boyfriend, and the emotions started flowing because I'm having a hard time with this homeschool, like adding more to the plate, you know? But when I started speaking, it was like this epiphany came to me that this struggle that I'm having is not with my kids. They're mirroring it and taking that energy and manifesting it into physical form for myself to see in physical. But I realized that the struggle that I have, this internal battle, is not between me and them. It's between my right side and my left side. It's like I'm feeling overwhelmed. Sorry for getting emotional. But I'm feeling overwhelmed. And I'm feeling alone. I'm feeling exhausted. And we won't even get into the conspiracy theory of it all. Right? But okay, so I have all these feelings. All these feelings that I'm having are seeking validation and needing to be right. They're needing to be made okay. Right? Then there's this other side of me who's like, stop fucking crying. Stop wasting your time being emotional because this is shit that you have to get done. So I realized that in coming into the political awareness, the two sides of the spectrum that are fighting are mirroring back to me the same sides of myself that are fighting. So yeah, I guess I'm sharing this because I feel like there's other people out there that need to hear this. So this is shit that I have to do. And this is shit that I have to get done with my kids. But also, if I'm at a breaking point, I'm realizing that that archetypal father figure side of me can be the strength to hold the other side of me to let this energy come through. Sorry, hold on a second. Okay, sorry. So anyway, I'm not sharing that with you to gain pity or um, you know, grab sympathy, get sympathy from people. That's not my intention at all. My intention is that if you're feeling the same way, you're not alone. And sometimes that's all you just need to hear is that you're not alone, right? So I'm telling you, you're not alone. But this is important. It's important because the Saturnian part of me needs to understand that that part of me can't bulldoze that moon energy, that emotional energy. Can't just suppress it and say, fuck that shit, you gotta get this shit done. It doesn't work anymore. Because it's just going to gain strength in that. And it will bring you into that energy. And it will make you not want to get shit done. So it's time for those two parts, Saturn and Moon, to work together, gain strength from each other, and drive the ship forward. So, yeah. Okay, so now as a collective whole, let's look at the energies that will be coming through December 12th, 2020, with the opening of the portal. I think it's open already. I'm getting that December 9th is actually when the opening is beginning. Yeah. Started opening December 9th. Fully open by December 12th. The height of the height of it, the peak of it is from the 20th to the 25th. Closing on January 10th. Fully closed on the 11th. I don't know. And with this whole being in the physicality of the three-dimensional world, I've stopped listening to astrology. I've stopped listening to tarot readings, to other spiritual teachers, and I've been completely immersed in the physical. So I don't know if that's even aligned with what other people are saying. But let's see. Well, the other things that I've gotten was that 2021 is about merging spirituality with practicality. So bringing the spiritual and the physical together. Slowly pulling them together, making the gaps smaller. And then 2022 is when we're going to find and master the balance between the two. And if you look here, I drew an infinity symbol. And it's that middle point. It's that middle point where the two sides connect. It's that center point. It's that neutrality. And it's the I am not. It's the and. It's the I can be a completely spiritual person and live in this three-dimensional physical human form at the same time, simultaneously. I can have energy in the fifth dimension and in the third dimension. But I can bring my focus into here in the third dimension because I chose to come here and experience life as a human. All right, so I want to take a look at what the blind spot is for the collective currently. All right, so we've got their motives and we've got conversion. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read the first couple. So their motives. It says, if you've drawn the sigil, you are not seeing the true motives of the other people, or perhaps multiple other people involved in the situation. The sigil assists with situations where a person has motives and intentions that are not in alignment with your own best interests. And perhaps they have motives that are not in alignment with their own best interests. All right, so let's look at conversion. If you've drawn the sigil, you are either being congratulated or warned. Either you have made a positive change on the mental and emotional level that is now converting in the body physically as increased well-being, or your lack of awareness of emotional and mental stress is now making it become physical in the form of decreased well-being. In other words, the emotional and mental aspect of the truth of yourself that you are not aware of or are not admitting to is converting into physical symptoms. Okay, so this tells me that sorry. Sorry. My kids send me TikToks, and it was how a mom reacts to their first, second, and third child. And it's very fitting. Okay, so if you want to bring this to a collective, bigger picture, we could say the motives of people, big groups of people, people in power, let's say, who have control over our lives and force us to do things. Their motives are not in alignment to our own best interests. So, this is going to become clear. This is going to become more transparent. And it's not something that's going to be ignored, or most people are not going to be able to ignore this any longer. We can either accept it for what it is, and then decide if we choose to do something about it or not. Or we can pretend like everything is great. Things are just being done for our own best interests. But I feel like for the people who are watching this video, when things are revealed to you, when they're made clear, when you find that clarity, if you pay attention to how it makes you feel, it's going to make you feel angry, make you feel powerless. Does it make you feel motivated to do something? Honor that. Honor it. Honor how it makes you feel. And we'll get through it. But if you choose not to see it, or if you choose to ignore it, something else may come of it, which will force you to acknowledge it. Okay, so with their motives, we've got transcendence in reverse. And we've got heritage in reverse. Their motives are to keep us down, to keep us under control. United, we conquer. Divided, we fall. I need to work with this deck more. So this is the Frequency Tarot cards by Teal Swan. I don't work with them very often, but I felt called to. Okay. So heritage in reverse, it's it's time to what? It's time to do things differently. So I posted something on Facebook a while back. I think it was maybe September, maybe October, and it said, "Why do I feel like another shutdown is coming?" Maybe it was October. Mm-mm. It was in November because it was after the election. And someone had private messaged me citing violence. And what came to me is if we keep doing things the way that we've always done them, which is violently claiming what is rightfully ours, continuing to fight each other and be divided, nothing will ever change. It really is about uniting and listening to one another and having unconditional love for each other. It makes my head hurt. So I'm sorry, this is like way out in left field, but this is what's coming to me. I don't know. I guess I'll have to sit with that longer. But with conversion, we've got calming. It's almost like protest, sure, but in a way that entices other people to come in, invites other people to come in, like do a collective meditation of protest where it's not so scary to join, or become self-aware. During the fight, become self-aware of who you're driving away in the fight. Because in the protest, in the fight of claiming back power, you could be driving the stake deeper into the division. Okay, so if you're going to look at this on a personal level, if this is you, if you experience trauma, if you experience pain, if you've experienced betrayal, if you've experienced hurt by the people, and it's not fully recognized and worked with, understand that transcendence, there's a very fine line between transcendence and escapism. Okay? Transcending this third dimension and our human ways is not a way to escape what has happened to us in our past. Transcending them and being completely present in the third dimension and in the physical and the physicality of being a human is what we came here for. I understand that it's not fun, but we are warriors that came here for a reason, and so we're meant to stay here until we complete that task or that mission. This is heavy stuff. This calmness and the self-awareness. If you can remain calm during these moments of self-awareness, if you can, I feel like it's going to be a crash course of clarity and self-awareness in the next month. If you can remain calm, and if you can just see it for what it is, and understand that it's not bad and it's not meant to shame or attack or make you feel less than. It's meant to empower you and make you see yourself. And where we can make ourselves stronger. Sorry, I got a knock at my door. Speaking of children, Pardon me. Very nice. All right, this 12 portal. It's Wheel of Fortune. It's a reset. It's one cycle ending and a new one beginning. Welcoming the energy to the new year. Sort of tying up those loose ends in order to start something new. Taking the clarity and putting it into action. And not just going through the motions, and finding passion in the action that we take. Right? We are going to be able to choose now. The red door or the blue door. Do we wish to go back to sleep, or do we wish to find clarity and know our truth? And then beginning to find balance in this physical world, but also mastering our emotions. See if anything else wants to come out. It's time to do work. Not only is it time to do work, it's time to do work, but then also take that work, take what we've learned, and pass it forward. In this new third dimensional reality where the masculinity becomes awakened. Because that's where a lot of us are. Even a lot of people who are self-proclaimed feminists, a lot of them are stuck in the cycles of masculinity. I hope I don't get too much hate for saying that, but so what it truly is the masculine. The masculine energy needs to become awakened. And in doing so, the feminine needs to learn how to take on a bit of that masculine, the awakened masculine, and create safety and containment where this masculine energy can come in and allow it to cocoon and transform, transmute, shed the old, and realize the new. Let's pull a couple oracle. You know what? It's like the masculine is going to be awakened. We need to awaken masculinity and realize what true femininity, the true feminine, the truly awakened feminine is, and merge them together. All right, so we've got warrior woman. So to all the women or men who carry the feminine energy more prominently, because we have both energies within us all. Have you answered your deepest calling? Have you even stopped to listen to what maybe your deepest calling is? And then we have Anna, grandmother of Jesus. And it says, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. And then we have the initiation. And it says, rite of passage and crossing the threshold. So those of you who carry that feminine energy more prominently, whether you're man or woman physically, we are being called to step into our true power, to step into our true energy, so that we can lay foundation and provide shelter for those who carry the masculine energy more prominently to come into our energy and allow the masculine energy to awaken. Um, Yeah. Let's do one more. This is the Lightworkers Oracle. This one was Work Your Light. I don't see the box, and I can't remember at this moment. It's Work Your Light. At the bottom of the deck, it says Sisterhood of the Rose. And it says Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, and Teacher. And then Transformation. It says things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. I wasn't sure how this reading was going to turn out today. I was afraid that it was going to be very fluffy and superficial. As we know, I don't do that. So I should have known better. All right, so Lightworker Oracle by Anna Fairchild. Today we've got number 37, fitting number 10, Heart Transformation. Or, sorry, the Heart Transmission. The Heart Transmission. Your heart is capable not only of giving and receiving love, but of connecting you to a great network of beings that resonate in the highest frequencies of divine love. Through your heart, you can receive information and guidance from networks of light that fill our universe. As you learn to open your heart to receiving these transmissions, your ability to work with group consciousness in a loving way increases. You shall affect humanity in a loving way, influencing the collective rather than allowing the lower frequencies of the collective to overwhelm you. Working with a group energy is a leap on a spiritual path with risk, but also great reward in terms of empowerment to manifest your life mission. The risk with group energy is mitigated when you approach it from the heart rather than the head. The mind can argue one point of view and then immediately and convincingly argue its opposite every day. The heart, however, either feels something resonates or it doesn't, whether or not there is a logical explanation for it. The mind can be seduced by those who tell you they have great spiritual power, but this will instantly trigger intuitive warning bells in your heart. For those with genuine power, do not need you to convince you of it. The heart is the key to deciding where you offer your devotion. When you offer devotion to group consciousness that loves you unconditionally, your heart feels safe, loved, and an inner knowing of rightness of that group for you, whether that group exists on an earthly plane or in a spiritual dimension, for as long as it gives you life, broadens your horizons, nourishes your truth, and empowers you to live your destiny, that group is serving you. If you do not experience these positive effects, if you feel drained, confused, or that your issues are not resolving as you work with this group, listen carefully to your heart and question whether it is indeed the right place for you to be. It is important to also work with groups that you can serve. Although you may love your family, for example, they may not be the group you can best serve. Perhaps those who are open, willing, and receptive to your spiritual gifts are outside your family. Perhaps family can benefit spiritually from you in the role of mother or son or daughter, but not in the role of spiritual mentor. On the other hand, some groups may want to feed off you, but not learn to do for themselves. They may wish for you to give them the answer to their problems. They may not be willing to develop the trust, courage, confidence, and empowerment that is required to take responsibility for their own relationship to the universe, which is needed so they can grow in soul wisdom through their life experiences. Your heart may guide you to withdraw your services from such people because you love them and want them to grow. Your heart will guide you to operate differently with different people. You may be guided to explore hobbies or interests that lead you to the next group that your presence can assist. The heart will also guide you when it's time to move on. The transmission of the heart gives a truthful assessment of the interaction of your frequency with the frequency of the group. Is it mutually raised? Then this is a spiritually constructive connection. Is it diminished? That this will not be so helpful. The heart empowers you to know when to work with others, for how long, and in what way. Trust it. The more you do, the more groups which can bring great benefit to you and to the planet can enter into your world. Invocation. I have gratitude now for the heart transmission that guides me through universal love into the group consciousness that can best serve the greatest good in my own divine destiny. I ask for protection, insight, clear knowing, and clear feeling to guide me through the many groups that I will work with and love. I read that backwards. I ask for protection, insight, clear knowing, and clear feeling to guide me through the many groups that I will love and work with spiritually in this lifetime. May all my group involvements be constructive. May love, light, and power increase in me and upon the earth through all group work. Blessed by grace. May the unconditionally loving ones help all group endeavors attain spiritual success through my own free will and divine love, so be it. It's beautiful. So allow yourself open the heart. Allow the light to flow through it. And it doesn't need to be in sitting meditative way. Going into a group, it's definitely necessary to ask for protection, to ask for clear knowing and clear feelings so that you know whether it feels good or not, is beneficial to you or not. But also consciously go into a group with the intention of being love, providing love, and receiving love. And that's it. I hope this has been helpful for you. I do have a goal of doing 6 months, 6-month forecast for all the signs, but we'll see how that goes. I love you. I hope you all have wonderful holidays, and I will talk to you soon. Happy New Year if it's not before then. I love you.